I was 3 months married when I saw the two lines. Two pink lines that weren't supposed to exist. Because I was on birth control. Had been for 6 years. Took it at the same time every single day, 7 a.m., with my coffee. Never missed, not once. And I was pregnant anyway. I took 5 more tests. Bought them from 3 different stores. Different brands, digital, non-digital. Expensive, cheap, all positive. Every single one. I sat on the bathroom floor and stared at them lined up on the counter like little soldiers. 6 plastic sticks. 12 pink lines. 1 impossible reality. And when I told my husband that night, my husband of 3 months, the first thing he said was, wow, or okay, or, we'll figure this out. The first thing he said was, are you sure you were actually taking it? That's when I knew. 3 months into our marriage. I knew. This wasn't going to be about us facing something unexpected together. This was going to be about me and what I'd done wrong. I need you to understand who we were before that bathroom. Before those 2 lines. We'd been together for 3 years before we got married, met through mutual friends. Both in our late 20s. He was a project manager at a tech company. I worked in marketing at a nonprofit. We dated, moved in together after a year, got engaged a year after that. Had a small wedding in June. 70 people. Backyard ceremony. Simple. Beautiful. Everything we wanted. We talked about kids. Of course we had. We both wanted them, eventually. In 5 years, we'd said. After we'd bought a house. After we'd traveled. After we'd had time to just be us. 5 years felt safe. Manageable. Far enough away that we didn't have to think about it yet. I'd been on birth control since I was 23. Started it for irregular periods. Stayed on it for pregnancy prevention. The pill. Same prescription for 6 years. Same routine. Every morning. 7 a.m. Never forgot. I was careful. That's what I kept thinking as I sat on that bathroom floor. I was careful. I did everything right. When my period was 3 days late, I barely worried. It happens sometimes. Stress, travel. We'd just gotten back from our honeymoon 2 weeks earlier. But at 5 days late, something whispered in the back of my mind. Just check. Rule it out. Put your mind at ease. So I bought a test on my lunch break. Took it in the bathroom at work. I don't even know why I did it there. Maybe because it felt less real. Less significant. Just a quick check before going back to my desk. Positive. I stood there in the fluorescent lighting of that office bathroom and felt the floor tilt. That can't be right. False positive. These things happen. I left work early. Told my boss I had a migraine. Went to 3 different drugstores. Bought 5 more tests. Different brands. Different price points. The most expensive one. The one that says pregnant or not pregnant in actual words so there's no confusion. All positive. Pregnant. 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 I called my doctor's office from the car. The nurse squeezed me in the next morning. Blood test. Confirmation. You're pregnant, she said, looking at the results. About 6 weeks. But I'm on birth control, I said. Like, that would change the test results. Birth control isn't 100% effective, she said gently. Even with perfect use. I was perfect, I said. And I heard how it sounded. Defensive, desperate. She nodded. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it just happens. 6 years of taking a pill every single day at the same time. And sometimes it just happens. That night I told Jake. We were in the kitchen. He was making dinner. Pasta. I remember the smell of garlic and the sound of water boiling and thinking this is not how I imagined telling my husband we were having a baby. I need to tell you something, I said. He turned down the burner. Looked at me. What's wrong? I'm pregnant. I watched his face. Watched shock register. Then confusion. Then something else. Something I couldn't quite read. What? He said, I'm pregnant. 6 weeks. But, he stopped. Started again. But you're on birth control. I know. How? Are you sure you were actually taking it? And there it was. Not, how did this happen in the sense of let's figure this out together. But, How did this happen in the sense of what did you do wrong? Yes, I said. Every day. Same time. Never missed. Are you sure? Like I was lying. Like I needed to think harder. Yes, Jake. I'm sure. He turned back to the stove. Turned off the burner completely. Stood there with his back to me. This wasn't the plan, he said quietly. I know. We said 5 years. I know. He turned around. Did you? He stopped. Then, did you do this on purpose? And that's when something broke inside me. Not shattered. Not loudly. Just cracked. Like ice on a windshield. One small fracture that I knew would spread. What I didn't know then, what I wish I'd understood in that moment, is how common this is. Not just the pregnancy, the blame. I spent the next week in this fog of shame and confusion. Jake had apologized that same night. Said he was just shocked. Didn't mean to imply I'd done anything wrong. But the words hung there between us anyway. Did you do this on purpose? I started researching. Late at night while he slept. Sitting on the couch with my laptop. Birth control failure rates. And that's when I learned. The pill is 99% effective with perfect use. But with typical use, 91%. That means 9 out of every 100 women get pregnant each year while on the pill. 9%. I wasn't an anomaly. I wasn't even that unusual. I was just one of the 9. But nobody talks about this. When you start birth control, they tell you how to take it. They tell you side effects. They tell you it's very effective. They don't tell you that very effective still means there's a chance. They don't prepare you for what happens if you're in the 9%. And they definitely don't prepare you for your partner blaming you when it fails. I found forums, Reddit threads, stories from hundreds of women. Got pregnant on the pill. My boyfriend says I must have messed up. Pregnant with IUD. Husband thinks I'm lying about having one. He says I baby trapped him, but I was on birth control. Over and over, this same story. Method fails. Partner blames woman, as if we have some secret agenda. As if we're lying about something you can literally verify with medical records. And here's what made me angriest. Jake never asked what he might have done. Did he know that some antibiotics interfere with birth control? He'd been on one for a sinus infection 6 weeks earlier. Did he know that stomach issues, vomiting, or diarrhea within a few hours of taking the pill can reduce effectiveness? I'd had food poisoning from that Thai place we tried. Did he know that even perfect use has a 1% failure rate? But instead of we, it was you. Instead of what happened, it was what did you do? We went to my OB together for my 8-week appointment. I made Jake come. Told him he needed to hear this from a medical professional since he clearly didn't believe me. I hated that I had to do that. Hated that I needed a doctor to verify I wasn't lying to my own husband. The doctor did an ultrasound. There it was. Tiny flickering heartbeat. 8 weeks. Due date in February. So, Jake said carefully, how does someone get pregnant on birth control? My doctor, Dr. Martinez, who I'd been seeing for years, didn't even blink. Like she'd answered this question 1,000 times. Birth control is very effective but not infallible, she said. Even with perfect use, the pill has about a 1% failure rate. With typical use, it's closer to 9%. But she was taking it every day, Jake said. And I heard it again. That doubt. That questioning. I'm sure she was, Dr. Martinez said firmly. But other factors can interfere. Some antibiotics, gastrointestinal issues, even some herbal supplements. And sometimes, she looked directly at Jake, sometimes it just fails. It's not anyone's fault. It's statistics, not anyone's fault. I wanted to tattoo those words on my forehead. But here's what I was learning. Facts don't always change feelings. Jake heard everything Dr. Martinez said. He nodded. He accepted it intellectually. But emotionally, I think part of him still believed I'd done something wrong. He never said it again. Never asked if I'd taken my pill. Never accused me outright. But I felt it in the way he looked at me. In the careful way he spoke. In what he didn't say. We talk about the pregnancy in these practical terms. Doctor's appointments. What we needed to buy. How we'd rearrange the apartment. But we never talked about us. About how this had cracked something open between us. About how blame, even unspoken blame, changes everything. And I was drowning in shame that wasn't even mine to carry. I'd go to work and paste on this smile when people congratulated me. Thank you. We're so excited. A little sooner than planned, but we're thrilled. All lies. I wasn't thrilled. I was terrified, and not just about becoming a mother. I was terrified about what this pregnancy was doing to my marriage. To us, 3 months in and we were already fracturing. The breaking point came at 16 weeks. We were at a family dinner at Jake's parents' house. His mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law, their kids. First time seeing everyone since we'd announced the pregnancy. Everyone was excited, asking questions. When was I due? Did we know the gender yet? Well, this was fast. I guess you two couldn't wait. Implied this was my fault. Made it a joke. When I came back, I said I wasn't feeling well, which was true. I felt sick, just not from pregnancy. We drove home in silence. And when we got inside, I finally said it. All of it. You blame me in front of your family? What? He looked genuinely confused. When? The birth control comment. That's what I said. You made it sound like I forgot. Like this is my fault. I was joking. It's not funny. And I was crying now. Actually crying. 16 weeks pregnant and crying in our kitchen. You've been blaming me since the day I told you. And now your whole family thinks I screwed up. That's not. He stopped. Ran his hand through his hair. I don't blame you. Yes, you do. And saying it out loud made it real. You asked if I did it on purpose. You questioned if I was really taking my pill. You just implied to your sister that I forgot. Every single thing you've said or done tells me you think this is my fault. He sat down heavily. This wasn't what we planned. I know. Do you think I don't know that? Do you think I'm not scared too? I'm about to be a mother and I don't even know if my husband wants this baby. I don't know if he wants me anymore because of this baby. That's not true. Then show me. Stop blaming me for something I didn't do. Stop making me feel like I trapped you. Stop treating me like the enemy. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, I'm scared. And there it was, finally, the truth under all the blame. I'm scared too, I said. I don't know if I'm ready to be a dad. I don't know if I'm ready to be a mom. But we're doing this, I said. Whether we're ready or not. And we can do it together as a team, or we can keep doing this. Where you blame me and I defend myself and we both just hurt each other. He reached across the table. Took my hand. I'm sorry, he said. And I think he meant it this time. Really meant it. I need you to stop, I said. The comments. The doubts. The implications. I need you to believe me. I do believe you. Then act like it. We started going to couples therapy 2 weeks later. Not because everything magically got better after that conversation, but because we both realized we needed help. Needed someone to help us talk through this without blame. Without shame. Our therapist helped us see what was really happening. Jake wasn't angry at me. He was angry at the situation. Angry at the loss of control. Angry at having his life plan disrupted. But anger at a situation has nowhere to go. So it had landed on me. On the easiest target, and I had internalized all of it. Taken on shame that wasn't mine. Spent weeks trying to prove I hadn't done anything wrong when I knew I hadn't. We worked through it slowly. Not perfectly. Not in some neat timeline. But we worked through it. Our daughter was born in February. Maya. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. Perfect. She's 2 now. And I wish I could tell you our marriage went back to exactly how it was before. That everything healed completely. That there aren't moments when I still remember how it felt to be blamed for something beyond my control. But that's not how it works. What I can tell you is this. We survived. Our marriage survived. Maya has 2 parents who love her and who learned slowly, imperfectly, how to be partners through something hard. But it left scars. It left questions I still carry. About trust. About being believed. About what happens when the person who's supposed to be on your side turns on you instead. If you got pregnant on birth control and your partner blamed you, listen to me, it's not your fault. 9% of women using the pill get pregnant each year with typical use. 1% even with perfect use. You are not an anomaly. You are not a failure. You did not do anything wrong. And if your partner is blaming you, that's not about the birth control. That's about them, their fear, their inability to handle uncertainty, their need to find someone to blame because it's easier than facing the randomness of life. You don't have to carry their fear. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to defend your truth when you know it's true. You're allowed to be angry, to be hurt, to demand better. And whether you keep the pregnancy or don't, whether your relationship survives this or doesn't, you deserve a partner who believes you, who stands with you, who doesn't make you the enemy. You're not alone in this. And you're not to blame. Before I go, I need to be transparent with you. This story, it was created with a high. The narrator, the specific details, the timeline, they're fictional. But here, that's real. The 9% of American women who get pregnant on birth control each year, the blame, the shame, the questioning, the feeling of having to defend yourself to your own partner. This story represents what thousands of women experience. Women who did everything right and got blamed anyway. Women who thought they were alone. If this resonated with you, that's because the feelings are real. Even if this particular story isn't. Subscribe to Intimacy Vault for more stories that reflect what so many women go through, but rarely talk about. You're not alone.